Hello yogis, we're going to do a 10-minute stretch focusing on the legs. Join me on the mat. Let's start by laying in our back. Hug the knees into the chest and extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Rest the arms by your side, or if it feels more comfortable to interlace the hands behind the head, do that. Now point both toes, both feet, and flex the toes, flex the feet. Point, flex, point, flex. And as you do that, go to the maximum of your range so you can start to feel the engagement in the calf muscles, opening the sole of the feet, opening the top of the feet. And now we're going to do floint, which is between the flex, so this is flex, and between the point. So the floint would be your toes flexed, but the feet in a pointed position. Now stay there, keep your legs active by engaging towards each other. Reach out through the ball of your feet as if you want to touch the ceiling with the ball of your feet. At the same time, the toes are pointing towards your face, towards the back of the mat. And release. Cross the ankles, roll up, come into a forward fold. You can have your feet slightly apart or completely close together, whatever feels comfortable for you, and just allow the upper body to fold over the legs. Make any little adjustments to release into the upper body a little bit more. Slight bend into the knees is always good, especially if it is your first practice of the day and if you feel a bit tight in your legs. It happens to any of us that sometimes we feel like there's too much tension in the legs. You're welcome to have blocks under the hands if that helps, or hands directly on the floor. Lift the heels and bring the heels in line with the toes. Lower the heels down. Lift the heels in line with the toes. Really squeeze the heels up so you can activate into the calf muscle. Lower down. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. Now stay there, we're going to stay there. Let the neck relax completely, the upper body fold over the legs, completely relaxed. Lift the heels a little bit higher, squeeze more into the calf muscles. And release. Step the right leg back into a low lunge. Go really far with the right leg so you can sink the left glutes towards the left ankle. And from here, either with both hands on the floor, or if you feel that you have the stability, you can bring both hands onto the front thigh. Squeeze the right heel into the glutes. Lower the foot down, just hovering the foot off the floor. Squeeze the heel into the glutes, point the toes so you engage more into the leg. Lower, squeeze, lower, squeeze, lower, squeeze. Now in this one we're going to stay there. Keep pressing the right hip forward so we're not opening too much to the side. Keep that back foot engaged, reaching towards the glutes. And release. Tuck the back foot, step into your forward fold. Lift the heels in line with the toes. Press the whole 5 toes onto the floor. Bring the heels as much in line with your toes as possible. Let the upper body fold over the legs and stay here. Breathe into it. And bring a slight internal rotation into the legs. So with an internal rotation, squeezing the legs slightly inwards. This is going to activate more into our inner thighs, into the inside of the legs. And release down. Step back with your left leg. Lower the back knee down. Come into a low lunge. Hands on the floor or hands onto the front thigh. Squeeze the back heel into the glutes as much as you can. Lower down with control. Lift, press the heel towards the glute, lower down. Keep the hips facing the front of the room as much as possible and the spine long. Lower down softly. Last one, lift, squeeze. Now we're going to stay there, engaging into the hamstring to bring that heel closer to the glutes. Point the toes, it helps you to bring the foot closer to the glutes. And gently release. Step into your forward fold. Have a breath here, just notice how different your legs already feel. And now step the right leg back. Lower the back knee down and straighten the front leg into your half split. Keep the right hip in line with the right knee. And it's up to you to have the foot lifted off the floor or if you want to have the foot flat on the floor. Sometimes I even lift and lower and do a few like this, or I stay static. You choose. Lengthen the spine, inhale, exhale, fold. Now draw the thighs towards each other. So we have the tendency to lean towards the right side. Draw the thighs towards each other, especially the right hip towards the center, so you can have the hips squared and we are engaging into the legs to come together. Bend the front knee, lean forward with your hips. Left hand onto the front thigh, grab hold of the back ankle for your heel to butt. Press the foot into the glutes. At the same time, you engage the foot and you resist with your hand. So we're opening into your quads, into the thigh muscles, and you want to have an engagement into that right leg. Release. Tuck the back foot, lift the back knee, turn, pivot your back foot and turn towards the right side. So you come into your goddess pose with both feet pointing out and heels pointing in. Go really low in your goddess. As much as possible, have your bum in line with your knees. Reach the arms forward, lengthen the spine. Activate into your pelvis and tuck the tailbone under. Really strong pose here, engaging into your inner thighs, into your glutes. Relax into the jaw and into the face. We tend to transfer the tension all the way up into areas that are not needed. Release the hands. Pivot your feet for your wild straddle, so toes in, heels out, and fold forward. Rest the hands down onto the floor. Allow the upper body to release completely. Walk the hands towards the front of your mat. Pivot both feet. Step forward into your forward fold. Left leg steps back this time. Lower the back knee down, straighten the front leg. And once you do that, make any adjustments so that the left hip is in line with the back, with the knee. Frame the front leg, inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Same thing, you can play with the foot here, either pointing or flexing, or the float one, which is the in between the flex and the point. And remember about the hips, they tend to lean over towards one side. Hug them in into the center so you're more squared off towards the front of your mat. Keeping the foot active is going to support the stretch we're having in the hamstring. Bend the front knee, lean forward, grab hold of your back foot with the left hand and keep your right hand onto the front thigh. If it's really wobbly, you can always bring the hand down to the floor or to a block. Press the heel onto the glutes, lean forward with your hips and work on squaring the hips so you can really open into that left quad. Release. Lift the back knee, pivot both feet out to the side, turning towards your left side to go into your goddess pose. So make any adjustments, lower the bum down, and this time we're going to bring the arms up. If it feels like when you bring the arms up, it's getting a bit too much in your shoulders, then just keep the arms in front or even resting them onto the hips. But see if you can have your arms up and then relax into those areas that you're gripping, that you're building up tension and fire. Release, pivot both feet in, toes out, and fold forward. Turn to face the front of the room and step back, sit onto your heels. Namaste.